Okay, so for those of you who listened to the last episode, I'm sure you'll notice that it ended rather abruptly. And that was because I had to take a phone call. Patience called. Patience, that's my wife, for those of you who are long term listeners. And yeah, she's finally back in the country. And that's an update I forgot to give you guys. The program is over and done with. She has gotten her certification and she has gotten the work experience that she needs in the beautiful world of finance. And so keep a watch on this space because Patience and I, in a couple of years, will probably be opening our own hedge fund or something like that. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on all the wonderful, beautiful things that are in future for both of us. And of course, by extension, for you guys as well, because it is my prayer that as we advance ourselves personally and professionally and our families collectively, that we can all do so. I mean, those of us in the same ecosystem, that we can all do so as well. Because my prayer is not just that I eat and I live exceedingly well, but that my boys should also eat as well. And, my girls, everyone in my whole crew, that we all eat and we're all happy and healthy. Because if only one of us eats, then, we're going to have that whole thing of, you're eating and everyone else is hungry and there's a discord amongst the fam. But if everyone is eating and everyone is happy, then we are all happy and in the right frame of mind to pursue even bigger and better things. So I'll keep you guys updated. So, okay. So anyway, I didn't want to get rid of the old episode, so I just published it as it was, even though there was a hard break in it. So I'll just wrap up where we were over here. So I'm just running from memory. But just in case there's anything that I skipped out, on Spotify, there's this community building feature where you can get to ask questions. And if you are listening and using the Anchor app, that option is already there as well. You can send a voice note. So if there's anything that I missed off because when the recording broke and I had to have the conversation with Patience, you can just send a message saying, okay, you didn't finish this thing, you didn't finish that thing. And I'll try and incorporate that to be part of the recording for the next episode. And I'll address any shortcomings, any questions there. Okay, so I believe, if I remember correctly, that the point where I was at was to answer the question, how do you proceed? So, since there's an element of commonality here, Chi knows me, and then the customer, not customer, what's it called? Social media management lady knows me. There's an area of commonality, and you can take the conversation from there. So it's ring ring. Hello, is this Chi? Yes, this is Chi. My name is Patricia. I got your number from Tabishima. He said to call because you guys need some social media management services. And then you say, oh, thank you very much, Patricia, for calling. I've been expecting your call. Now, if you are Patricia is not her real name, by the way. So if you're Patricia, this is not where you do that Niger thing of you keep quiet because you're now expecting the customer to start talking and offload. So you'd be the professional since you're Patricia. Now, there are lots of, you be the professional because you are the salesperson. So there are lots of ways that you can go with it, but if you're going to take off from this whole thing of commonality, because really you need more information before you give a quote, that's basically the spirit behind it. And then also you need to find out what these people are all about. You can say, oh, by the way, how did you meet Tabishima? And, she will start, okay, yeah, we met so and so, and blah, blah, blah. And in fact, he told me about you when he was at my office, and these and these and these. Well, what we discussed. And that's at the point where you, as the salesperson, Patricia, will start getting some information like, oh, so you guys are into software development. So, yes, we are. And if you're familiar with software development, that's cool. But if you're not, that's the point where you still need more information. So you say, okay, sorry, I'm not really familiar with the software development space. How does that work? What do you people do? What do you do for your clientele? And then she talks again, blah, 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 blah. This is what software development is. This is who we work with, blah, 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 blah. The reason why you're asking all these questions is because you need information. You can't just say social media management is going to cost you 500K per year or it's going to cost you 30K per month. You need to know some basic stuff before you give a quote. So that's the reason why all this conversation might seem banal and might seem pointless, like why leading with the whole Tabishima thing and what is software development and what do you do? But all these questions are important. So From there, she's talking about everything. You've gotten a sense of what software development is about. And another follow-up question could be, okay, so this social media management, the services you require, is it for you guys or for any of the clients that you service? And she's going to talk some more again. And you're going to ask some more questions like, okay, when you say social media management, what exactly do you have in mind? And she will talk some more. What goals are you trying to achieve in social media management? And she will talk some more. At this point, if you're worried that it's looking like it's becoming an interrogation, that's the point where you say, oh, Chi, I'm sorry if it looks like all I'm doing is peppering you with questions. It's just that I can't come up with a proposal about social media packages and what we can do for you until I understand who you guys are, what your goals are, and what you're trying to achieve with social media management in the first place. And she's going to say, oh, no problem. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. If she's in a hurry or if she prefers to meet in person or if you prefer to meet in person at some point, that will be the next stage of the conversation. To sell the meeting so that you guys can meet face to face to now go over things in more detail so that you have all the information you need, and then you can now confidently say it's going to cost you 500k a year or 30k a month or I don't know, 5 naira a post or whatever it is that you're going to come up with. Sorry, I'm just making things up. It's because I don't know anything about the social media management space. I don't know how that industry works, so I'm just throwing things out there. So basically, that would just be my approach. You already have a point of commonality. So when you pick up the phone, start with that point of commonality. But the goal is not just to talk about who is friends with who. It's to find out about the person, get a sense of their business needs, what it is that they're trying to achieve, things like that. It doesn't have to be a scary conversation. And from the example that I've given so far, I'm sure you guys realize that all you're responsible for in this context is just asking questions. The person will be doing most of the talking. So it doesn't have to be that scary. You don't even have to talk much. All you have to do is just pick up the phone and ask some questions. But of course, you won't do that if you do not have a framework for which to pursue the conversation. And so that's the reason why the things that we talk about on this podcast is not just, it's not just intellectual stuff. This is real life. This is real world. It affects the amount of money that you can make and the profitable relationship that you can build in the future. So it's not even about me. I don't run through a high volume of business, so I probably won't be able to be of much use to the lady who's a social media manager. But if you're talking to someone who is running a tech hub in Abuja or a software development firm, they're training lots of other professionals, things like that. And you're a social media manager. I'm sure it should be handy to have this kind of person in your contact base. And so these are not the kind of things that you should drop the ball on. How do you know which customer is worth spending time with? It's a matter of qualification. That's why I pick up the phone in the first place and have these phone calls. Find out who is worth your while. If you find out that Wootlab and Chioma's outfit, that they're too small for you because you rather deal with big companies like Dangote or whatever, that's within your prerogative. At least now you've sorted them out, and you will let go of that opportunity because it's too small for you. And then on the other hand, if you're used to dealing with individuals like me, one or two individual photographers here and there, or wedding planners, and then you come in contact with this kind of corporate clientele, it might be a nice idea to switch because there's greater scale. Scale. There's greater scale there, more access to more clients, more interesting kind of work. Anyway, I guess I've been rambling on for too long. I just hope that the example that I've given so far shows that it doesn't have to be scary and that we are losing out on opportunities when we don't just pick up the phone. So pick up the phone and make the call. It doesn't have to be that hard. If you don't like the phone, the process is the same, because I always like to give people that out because I know that not everybody likes using the phone like I do. So I sent Patricia, remember that's not her real name, the social media management lady. So I sent Patricia the DM. So send the DM. It'll be the same. Hi, this is Patricia. Tavishima said to get out to you that you guys need social media management services. Is that correct? She'll respond, "Oh, yes, thank you. I've been expecting for you to reach out." And then the rest of the conversation still follows. Now, since this is a text-based medium, Instagram DMs or emails, the whole thing of how did you and Tabishima meet, that is not going to work in that context. So in this case, you might as well just get straight down to business, but the approach will be the same. So you need social media management services, okay? Would that be for you or for any of your clients? Or please, can you tell me a little bit about your industry, what you guys plan to achieve with social media management services? When you say social media management services, what does that mean to you? Will that just be putting up posts? Will that be managing engagement with followers? Will that be dealing inquiries? How are we going to handle data? How are we going to handle... since I'm not in that space, I don't know what the important questions are, but I hope you guys are getting a sense of the kind of possible questions that you could ask. So, bottom line, doesn't have to be that scary. Have a plan. You already have some rapport. Initiate the conversation. Ask questions. If you're the one doing most of the talking, I can tell you already that you're not doing it. You're not doing it right. The other person should be doing most of the talking. So don't worry about stage fright. Don't worry about what it is to say. Anyway, let me wrap it up here. I've been rambling on for too long. So thank you very much for listening to the Sales for the Nigerian Wedding Industry podcast. I'm your host, Abuja-based event and wedding photographer Tabishima Ayede. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I will catch you guys at the next recording tomorrow. And I should have more gist for you guys in future recordings because I'm heading out to another tech hub. They're having a presentation on risk management. One of my classmates studied risk management. After we left Obafemi Awolowo University, one of my classmates went into risk management, and so I've just been curious. So not like I think there's anything there for me to learn per se, or for those of us in the wedding space to learn per se, but it sounds interesting. So let me go there, hear what risk management is all about, and so maybe another episode to let you guys know on all the interesting business practices and business ideas out there. So more of that gist to come in the future. So you guys have a wonderful and productive day.